This video is going to show you how to start a table. When you get ready to do a table, you're going to click on the Insert tab. Notice your ribbon changes and you click on your table icon. You can actually draw out your grid by using this grid of how many rows, how many columns you have, or you can come down to where you see Insert Table and you choose the number of columns and the number of rows that you have. In the example that I'm going to show you, we are going to have 3 columns and we're going to have 4 rows. So you click on those arrow keys so that you can see how many rows and how many columns you're going to have. Now you can leave this fixed column width automatically, or you can fit it to your contents. I like to leave mine as a fixed column width until after I type my table. So I'm going to click OK, and that's just a personal preference. The first thing that you're going to type in your table is going to be in all capital letters, in bold, and 14 point is going to be your title of your table. So I'm going to click on Caps Lock, I'm going to click on the Home tab, I'm going to click on Bold, and I'm going to change my font size to 14 point. I also need to merge this first row into one big cell so that I can center my title across my entire table. So I'm going to highlight just that first row. I'm going to go to my Layout tab and I'm going to click on Merge Cells. And then I'm also going to click on my Center Alignment button. I could also do this from my Home tab and click on Center. Either way you get the same thing. But in all capital letters, in 14 point and in bold, I'm going to type the title, which is going to be Asset, I forgot to cut my caps lock on, Asset Accounts. And I'm going to press enter one time so that I leave a blank line before I start the next part of my table, which would be my column headings. To move around in a table, you press the Tab key. The Enter key makes your cell larger. When you press Tab, you get to row 2, and row 2 is your column headings. So my column heading is going to be, cut my caps lock off, Account. I'm going to press Tab and I'm going to type in the word amount. I'm going to press Tab and I'm going to type interest and rate. Now notice this is a 2-line column heading. These are all 1-line column headings. When you have that in a table, you need to select row 2. You need to click on the Layout tab, and then you need to click on the bottom alignment center button so that each of those are centered, but they're also bottom aligned. That will allow you to format this table correctly because your column headings should be at the bottom 1-liners and your 2-liners should be aligned at the bottom for your 2-line heading. You also need to click on your Home tab and click on Bold because your column headings are also typed in bold. In row 3 we start our information and we're just going to put checking. I spelled it wrong. I'm going to press Tab and I'm going to type in $575. I'm going to press Tab and I'm going to type in 2.5%. Now, when I am dealing with letters, or words I should say, in a column, they are left aligned. When I'm dealing with numbers in a column, they need to be right aligned. So when you're dealing with numbers, you need to highlight all your numbers and you need to click on your right alignment so that if you would have, say, $1,000 here, your ones, tens, and hundreds would align. Once you finish typing in your information, let's go back down to our last line and type in money market. And let's put in $150 and 1.75%. See how those numbers will align for your money. The percentages, it's okay for them to be in this format, or you could put a 0 after 2.5 if you wanted everything to line up exactly. But once you finish typing, do you see how everything is spread out? You need to condense all that down. So you're going to click on this little icon in the top left hand corner, and you're going to go to your layout tab again. You're going to click on your auto fit to contents button, and that shrinks it so that everything fits according to the longest line in each of those columns. You also need to click on your properties command and tell it center alignment. Anytime you have a table and that is the only information that you have is that table, then you center that table horizontally and vertically on the page. What we just did through this properties button is centered it horizontally. To center it vertically, we're going to click on our page layout tab. We're going to open up our dialog box for our page setup. Click on our layout tab and change our vertical alignment from top to center. And that puts it in the middle of the page so that we have even top and bottom margins and even left and right margins. Now, if I wanted to make this an open table, I would click on my icon. I would go to my home tab and I would change my borders to no border, and I now have an open table. A table this small, we wouldn't necessarily do it as a rule table, but if you wanted to do it as a rule table, you would highlight your column heading row. You would go to your borders and tell it top border, bottom border, and then you would go to the last row of your table and you would click on bottom border, and you would now have a ruled table. Good luck with tables. Tables are very quick to complete, but they're very hard to format because there's lots of little tedious things in there that you have to remember. Make sure you print out your notes because that will really help you get through the tables. Good luck.